thought. Let's see. What we do, here goes an eternity. Yeah, well.
Additional data received. recharge. Prepared. Technology recharge. Component prepared. Component prepared.
Hour-long interrogations within the Pentagon prior, simply because they agreed to be in this program and with the Congress. And this is totally illegal, but it is so important to the insiders to keep this secret that they are willing to disobey the law in order to do so almost openly. Disobey the law, and certainly openly as far as Congress is concerned, because congressmen involved know all about what's going on behind the scenes. Right now, there were supposed to be 6 witnesses. Now there are only 3.
Get that shit out of here, boy.
We'll see what happens, because
we got a walker.
There's a lot of maneuvering going on back behind the scenes. But what is this about, John, in your opinion? And I'm just asking you because you can. You're not an insider, you can't know. But you're like most of us in the experience movement groups. You're more of an insider than anyone in the military could ever be. Because it's one thing to be shooting at someone, and another thing to be liminal. There's a difference. So, what is your opinion here? How might we somehow build a bridge instead of widening the gap?
Well, it goes very far back in my family, and as I'm just going to your family as well. My dad was aeronautical engineer with Lockheed, and I was taken in. I feel sure to become a part of this program that you told me that you were in, and that scuttled my father's very important career because he chose not to have me included. And so, I've seen that aspect of it. And, I see them as, I think, as you said, they reflect back what we give to them. So if they're violent and if you are aggressive, they can match that very easily. If you're loving and caring and you bring your best energies, then you're more than happy and willing to do that. And that's really all I was thinking, because that's what I project. And I think the military can learn from us that if you want good results, you need to treat them as you would treat your own family, because that's who they really are.
Let's take a break right now for the free side of the show. We'll be right back. My new book, Them, has now been out since March of 2023. I would like to thank everyone for the wonderful reception. Those who have read it, who have posted thoughtful reviews on Amazon, those who have listened. It's an important book for me, and also, over the months, it has become a very strange book, because if you listen to the Oversight Committee UAP hearings, you'll hear David Grush saying things that almost sound like they were taken right out of the second part of them. And I thought to myself, how did I do that? And the answer is, I have no idea.
We're gonna fucking die here.
Very prophetic, and I think you should read it if you hadn't done so, and that's what this is all about. Read it and listen to it. It's really worth your time. Jacques Vallée certainly thought so. Mitch Horowitz thought so. Jeff Kripal thought so. Leslie Kane, Diana Fasolka, all of the others who gave it blurbs thought so. And so do an awful lot of people who have reviewed it. So pick up a copy today. Go to Amazon and get a copy. Go to Audible and get the audio book. Listen to them. Read them. It's a whole new way of how we should think about the close encounter experience. And this is getting more and more important over time. More and more important. Them. I saw the future when I was writing that book. Didn't know I would, but I did. You can read it now and see for yourself. We're talking about John Martin. It's a good book. The universe loves you, and you love it. Review it on Amazon. John,
give me that fucking shield.
Find you on the internet.
Yeah.
One of these places, but primarily.
My main site is YouTube, John Martin UFO and ET Intelligences, and I have over 200 compilation videos posted there from the last, I guess, 3 or 4 years now. I've had many experiences going back 10 years, but I actively started filming about 3 or 4 years ago. And that was a process of trying to learn how to do it, the equipment that I needed, how best to do it. I asked permission first, of course, and they agreed to let me do that. And they've just been spectacular with me on our interactions. I feel it's beyond the CE5. This is a CE6 where we both bring our best energies to this, and it's interactive. And to me, that's the next level of where this is going to go. And it's just a point on the curve for me. I expect the next few years to be places where I can't even imagine right now. And I'm very open to the experience and to the possibilities.
Wonder why they keep coming. Are they getting summoned?
That's where I'm at. So, when we have an agreement, there's a little park right next door. I still play on my deck, and lately I've played on my deck for years, for many years, but never with a specific intent of projecting while I play. And I think that's something that can translate to.
You're summoning shit, aren't you?
I share the very best of who I am. So in the book, I'll go into detail on how you can do it yourself. That's the important part.
This is why you're here, and why I picked up on you as soon as you. I forget how I found you, because
it was Scott Thomas's show.
Oh, that's right, Scott Thomas's show, and a lovely guy, Scott. Because my brief is to make contact work. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm here for. And I thought to myself, here's a guy who's actually doing this. He's making contact work.
What's happening? Is this thing fucking bugged? Because I'm gonna be really mad if it is.
Of course, in Sedona, who has been doing this in her own very different way for years, successfully, but not quite like you, because she basically goes out to look for and hopes to see objects in the sky. And
Nothing like a mission to get bugged, boy. Especially a Quicksilver mission. It makes me not want to play this game, boy.
But you do a different thing entirely. This projecting. How does that work inside you?
It's just so annoying when shit like that. Oh, you're not bugged no more? Are you still bugged? I don't even know. No, you're not.
In this world. And frankly, a lot of people...
Now you're just gonna die.
A few others are doing it. But this particular type...
Stupid fucking thing.
You get into it in the book very clearly. That's why
That's right. Death via permadeath, bitch. Now what we do is we kill this walker.
You're beautiful word about that. That just warmed my heart, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
I don't fear death in permadeath.
You know,
Haven't died yet.
They're not physically there, but they hear me. I tell them, things that are going on in my life. Recently, I had some serious health issues driven from COVID, and I had 2 major surgeries. And I spoke with them about that, and they were just... there's some videos that I've presented to you for this, and you can share them any way that you wish. But they came down to treetop level, and they crossed in front of aircraft, and they send this beautiful, incredible energy. And so what I do is when I go outside, as soon as I walk out,
I hate this. Is so not fun, man. Come on, dude. What the hell? Like, did this thing take damage or is it bugged again?
And they send love to me, and it's just a beautiful experience, and it's so easy. That's the thing.
Well, it is taking damage somewhat.
It doesn't take hours of meditation or ritual or anything like that. Well, no, it doesn't. They want to know who you are, and share what's important to you, share what really resonates with you.
Yeah, they have to rework this fucking ground mission. These walkers are so fucking bad, dude.
We have that innate ability.
They used to be better, I feel.
Way beyond the locality of where we are now. It goes deep, far to, that entanglement where you're here doing it, and you're also the other end of the universe doing it. At all points.
It's just like, and then this is not, what kind of fucking fight is this? Ah!
It's just this
It's annoying.
ability, and just boom, send it out. And it's instantaneous, and they recognize that, and they go back.
Oh my god, it's the worst fucking thing ever.
And it's...
The most unfun battle ever. Talk about not... Ugh, god. Talk about not knowing how to do ground combat in this game. They are just fucking awful at ground combat. I hope Echoes comes out and actually fucking fixes that to like even 10%, please. My god. Well, I mean, we had a bugged mech that I couldn't hurt until he got out of his spot. We had a walker going around in circles, doing absolutely nothing, just making it annoying to shoot. I mean, like that's not good gameplay. Like, what the fuck? And where is this walker now so I could get its brain? That was like a shitty fucking... I don't know, man. If I can avoid doing these Sentinel depots for Quicksilver, I will, because they're just obviously... There's very little thought put into them. Dude, what the hell's going on? What is this? What is these bugs in this game, man? Like legs in the air. Ugh, God. Get out of my way, you fucker. What a nightmare of a fucking mission. I'll tell you, these Sentinel ground missions are just not good, man. They're not done good. Alright, let's get out of this shithole. Shut up. I'm angry right now.
One of the things everyone is going to want to know is did they offer you or help you at all in terms of a cure? Now, I'm using that word specifically, not healing, because healing is different from cure. Healing is supportive and acceptance. It's acceptance. Like Annie was healed of her illness, but she did not get cured of the brain tumor. She was healed of the struggle and accepted her situation and died a beautiful, conscious death. And so, did they offer you any kind of cure? Did they help you medically at all? That's the first part I'll ask.
Well, and I will say mine was not a disease. Mine was physical. I'll share with you what I had. I've had a hiatal hernia. I worked a very physical job for many, many years. A friend of mine, he teaches at Emory. He teaches Olympic athletes how to improve their nutrition. And he asked me, how did you get a hiatal hernia? Because generally that's just people that lift heavy. And I worked, in construction since I was very small, all the way through high school. And I actually, went to college with Emory with a transportation company for a few years. And so I was physically doing a lot of work that caused the hiatal hernia. With the COVID, I coughed so much that my stomach popped up over my diaphragm and pressed up against my heart, throwing me into AFib. And so it was I literally had that issue that had to be physically fixed. And so it was a pretty major surgery, but I feel that they were not, I asked them, and I have a video, I said, you were welcome to, take care of this before the surgery. And they have been there, and they've been very supportive, and I think the healing, I healed so quickly and completely from it. I think that is a large part of the benefit that I received from them. But beyond that, it was something that had to be. I was in trouble. I was,
I know. I was very worried about you.
Yeah, but I'm just perfectly well. I'm so grateful and happy to be here today.
So good medical support and good spiritual support.
Yes.
I only know of a very few key cases where people have been cured. And everyone wants, I need a cure, I've got cancer. Well, you know, what you have and what we all have, but I was told by the just a long time ago, what we have is our fates. And our fate is apparently sort of part of us, like the color of your skin or the composition of your blood. And that's your fate. It's the same way, and no one can change your fate. But when something is not part of your fate, then maybe it can be changed, and that's maybe why there are so few cures. I knew one spectacular cure, a fellow named Morton Downey Jr., who was a shock jock, a very acerbic shock jock in Chicago. And I went on his show, and my publicist was saying, well, it's gonna be terrible, but you know, he's a real vicious guy. And I had this wonderful experience with him. He was just as sweet as could be. And I thought, well, this is what I was expecting. And I said, afterwards, I said, I have to ask you, you know, we all thought you were going to do your usual thing with me. And he said, well, I didn't tell anyone. I was driving back to Chicago one night, and he had very nice teeth, and I knew it. And suddenly a fog came over the road, and I had to stop. The next thing I knew, there were these shadows outside. And I couldn't get out of the car. And I don't remember much after that. I felt the feeling of being carried somewhere. And when I could move again and walk, I went home. And I went out to brush my teeth. Which I used to put something under the sea monster. I had the worst teeth in the world. They were just... And I had these beautiful teeth that I have today. They changed my teeth. They fixed my teeth. Anything. Wow. And, you know, that's a cure. But this is all so asymmetrical. And why did it happen to him? And it happened to him so that he would later give me a good shot on his show, which was then very big, instead of attacking me the same way Johnny Carson and his wife sat on the deck of their beautiful house overlooking the ocean in Malibu. Sometime before my appearance there, and saw a beautiful silver UFO circling the house at a low altitude. And then he has me on the show, and I know this is just saying, well, he's going to eat you alive. But, you know, it's the Tonight Show, you can't say no. And so I went on the show, and came into the computer beforehand and told me this story. And I thought to myself, this is going to be bad, and it was absolutely wonderful. How wonderful. They set it up. They were setting these things up. Yeah, but, you know, they're very practical. They're not going to cure anybody without do so. They're not going to interrupt someone's feet. Well, I will get back to bring Jimmy Carter back into this movement. I played during the service at the church down in Plains. I brought my mom with me, and afterwards they always take pictures with everyone. And we just had a lovely time. We said some wonderful things to my mom. It's in the book. And literally a month later, she was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. And the doctor said, get everything in order because you have maybe 3 months left to live. And I wrote a letter to President Carter about my mom. I wrote a letter back to her saying, we are all alive and all of our congregation are praying for you. And she went into remission for almost 3 years after that. So I know prayer works. And that's another thing with it. I think there's really no dichotomy between the sacred and secular in our star family. To me, it's all one. It's all enveloped in this thing that we call life, and it's something that I embrace all of it. Is I guess what I'm saying. We're going to take another short break. John Martin, his new book. Universe wants you. We'll be right back. Mitch Horowitz calls it in the preface cites fact after fact to build the case for in-depth realignment of public policy and public need. A handful of consulting author of American Cosmic says, leads the way, and it's best that we listen, because the stakes have never been higher for international president. Paul says, there is exceedingly valuable Leslie Kane, author of UFO Generals, Pilots, and Communications Gold, a record says, groundbreaking, the truest sense Bigelow Aerospace, VP called Gallagher says, Siri and Master. Now, available as an audio book on books and Amazon. Available as a hardcover and paperback everywhere. Available as a Kindle on Amazon.com. And you can go to Unitary.com and order all of my books. Where are we going? Where have we come from? What secrets have been buried? What secrets have been lost? What is the truth about the close encounter experience? You have never heard any of this before. Now, this is a brief excerpt from an interview with two contactees who had an 11-day close encounter experience and are now willing to speak about it really for the first time. To hear their whole interview and many others, subscribe to unknowncountry.com. Here's the excerpt. Did you see the man's face?
Yes, actually that one is very clear to me. It was kind of longish, and he didn't look completely human, but because he had very, very thin hair, almost non-existent, but he was young. I believe that it was kind of blonde, and he was very tall, like at least 6 feet, and he was so thin that it looked kind of strange.
And what happened then?
Well, he wanted me to go with him, or to stay with him. As he wanted me to stay with him on the ship. And I'd been married for 6 months, and I wasn't about to go running off to stay on the ship.
Now, surely you want more. You must want more. And there is more. Not only this contactee interview, but many others, many of them just as extraordinary, on unknowncountry.com. Plus everything else that we offer, my audiobooks, the meditations, the talks on the key, William Henry's wonderful Revelation show and its entire run, Anne Strieber's brilliant and magical mysterious powers, and so much more. Hours and hours of listening pleasure. Learn from the meditations on the site. Really learn, because they're real and they're valuable. Subscribe to unknowncountry.com right now. Go to unknowncountry.com. Click on the subscribe tab. We are running very low on new subscribers now, and that should not be. It should not be happening. So you do it. You go there and you do it today. We're talking to John Martin. You can reach him most easily on the internet, on his YouTube channel. He also often shows up on Wednesday nights on our subscriber chat. We have a lovely chat every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock Pacific time. We've been doing it, oh my dear, nearly 20 years now. Every night, every Wednesday night. And John has been a member for the past few years, and we just have a lovely chat, frankly. And so if you are a subscriber and you want to spend a nice hour with some nice people who are, many of whom have incredibly fascinating stories in their lives, come to the chat on Wednesday nights. Just log in and go to the chat room, and you'll also be able to meet John there. And me. I'm often there. I'm usually there.
I could not recommend it more. It is such a great resource, Whitley, and it is such a pleasure to be able to speak with you each week and all the other lovely subscribers there. And I hope it just becomes it just blossoms into this really massive thing which it deserves to be.
Well, now, wait a minute. This is never going to be massive. This website is curated by the visitors in very, very subtle ways. And, it's had trolls on it before, but they disappear. Sometimes on their own, and sometimes they just wander away. One or two have did things like try to get into the back end of the site to harm it. We banned them. But it's mostly Close Encounter Witnesses. And the thing that's strange about Close Encounter Witnesses is this. We used to have the Dreamland Festival, and in Memphis, at the Scarlett Bennett Center. I've always thought about doing it again sometime. I may. In any case, we would have the Dreamland Festival, and about 200 people would generally show up. And after the first festival, Dan said, "They're all so gentle," and I realized, and it was always true. I mean, they were just all such a. They wanted to be together, and it's like whenever you're with a group of Close Encounter Witnesses, nobody wants to say goodbye. We all just want to be together, and they've selected the people very carefully. They selected gentle people, and I thought to myself, and yet they selected me. But I'm a very moderate guy. I'm not temperamental, and I don't have real strong beliefs about anything. I'm sort of very much of a live and let live kind of guy, as I know you are too, and most of us are. So the witnesses, when you get them together in a group, it's usually a very pleasant moment. And I can't argue with them, because after all, they are fragile little entities. They would want to select people who were not going to be too violent under the circumstances of meeting them, especially for the first time.
Well, I think that's kind of the vision of my book, though, is let's just imagine that number of people multiplied by, 1 million or more.
Yeah.
And then, as you said, the size of the universe is so massive, then you bring all of that in, and then all of that good energy just takes all of humanity, all of the challenges that we have, and the resolutions that could be made, where the Earth can be, a generation from now, if we all do our part. And that's another part of why I chose to write this book is, we can't expect other people to do it. We need to do it ourselves. We need to make that effort, instead of watching television for an hour at night, I go out for an hour. It's not a big commitment in my book. I've spent tens of thousands of hours learning my instrument, so I'm used to committing to something of value and importance, and this is worthy of that from everyone.
Commitment is very important to this. If you're committed, like we do the sensing exercise at 1 o'clock Pacific time every afternoon with a group of people, and many of those people are like me. They've been doing it for years, and they do it every single day, and more than once a day. And this is the kind of commitment that's needed. It doesn't have to be that. I mean, you could do. John doesn't do it. He's not in the group, but he's committed nevertheless. Every night he's out there trying his best. That commitment is so important. You have to be committed to this to do it, to get their attention. And they won't make it necessarily easy. They won't necessarily show up right away. The people will, try 1 or 2 nights and then, nothing happened. Well, then forget about it. Go back to the TV. We have to realize we're in a consumer society. We expect immediate gratification. That's not how this works. You have to be committed before you get the results.
And just realize too that you put something in place, and there's an action that's being made, and that's recognized in the universe. And so, you may not see a result immediately. And there are times when I go out and I don't see anything, of course. But, I have my dog with me, or it's just a beautiful evening, and I enjoy the nice cool breeze and the beautiful sky. And more often than not, I do have many interactions. But when it doesn't happen, that's totally fine. That is absolutely fine. Just understand it's a process, and consider it, just something that is worth all of the effort that you put into it, and it comes back many times over. And that's what I've found so far.
They are not separated from nature in the way that we are. We are outside of nature looking in. And one of the things that I've noticed in your work is that you will do like images of cloud formations and things that people would think, oh, that's just natural. That's pareidolia. You see things that aren't really there. Can you tell us why you do these cloud formations and stuff like that?
I call them hieroglyphs. And so when I go back to when the purple craft came, I just kept playing my guitar, and after that, 4 craft came right over my courtyard, 1 red and 3 yellow, and 2 groups of 2 in a perfect line. And I went in to get my camera, and unlike the first time, they were gone when I came back out. That's okay. And so I just kept playing my guitar, and a few days later, a beautiful, incredible cross and crescent shaped craft came over my home. They were metallic, they were at a 45-degree angle, the size of office buildings, completely silent, going about 5 miles an hour. And I can't hear you, Whitley, I'm sorry.
When was this in terms of dates?
This would be 2013, October the 10th, I believe is the date, 2013.
At the height of the conflict between Islam and Christianity. Yes, and here they come with the crescent and the cross.
And a crescent, and just a few months prior to that, there was a cross and crescent crop circle that was laid out in Wiltshire, England. And so they were given a strong message. And then when they were coming over, and I was fumbling with I had bought a new Canon camera because it was, the purple craft that I couldn't get on my phone. So I was fumbling with that, and in my mind they said, please don't take our picture. We'll give you something you can take a picture of. And so I honored that, Whitley. I didn't run around the building and try to get a picture of them as they were exiting. It was just, I was overcome by this incredible gift from the universe. I mean, it was magnificent. And so a few days later, a friend of mine and I were going to go see Gravity, and we agreed to meet. Walked out my back door, and I took a left. He lives right, not in my building, but the first house on the other row, townhomes. And I heard, look over here. And when I looked over, there was this beautiful heart-shaped cloud directly over the courtyard, right where the cross and crescent were. And that's what's on the cover of my book, is the heart-shaped cloud.
Right.
And I've received many heart-shaped clouds over the years, and many other kinds of lovely just showings of love and affection. And what's very interesting are the hawks that are often around in creation. They, when the metallic craft come in, the hawks are there. And on many of the pictures that I've included in my book of the hieroglyphs, the hawks are right there as well. They pick up on that energy, because they're soaring all the time. And they see the metallic craft, they see the energies, they see me, because they're there's a roost right behind me in the park, up in the pine trees. And so they see me projecting, and they see the craft coming in, and they recognize that I'm able to see what they see. And so we interact all the time. They're very dear friends of mine. I've got all my hawk feathers here that I treasure. And they, they're just from them being so active around here. So there's many levels to this, Woodley. There's, nature is involved, higher energies, that is really a truly magnificent experience. And, that's just my own personal story. I think they will curate for each person individually. Everybody's story is completely unique, just like a fingerprint. Our lives are incredibly unique in every way, and that's what you share with the universe. You share who you are, share what's important to you, and know that you have that right to share and experience something beyond this realm. And when you make that realization, they meet you very easily. And like you said, the cross and the crescent with the heart is, there should be a coming together of these two major religions in this country that are in this world. I mean, that all this fighting and destruction needs to stop. And that was a lovely, really incredible message from our star family to have craft in those shapes. And there's many cross and crescent shaped crop circles. I wrote them in my book. So I'm trying to bring all the disparate elements together, just try to make a narrative out of it within the book itself. And that's, that was really the main thrust is, just have a through line through the entire book of, how it connects to all of us. Because, my story is not that important. It's the story. It's the fact that we all can do it and we can all bring our own really great positive energies to this very important mission for mankind.
In the book, you have a thought experiment, and I think it's quite important that people understand exactly what you did and do. So could you describe it for us, perhaps a little bit?
The thought experiment was, if I could take my music, something that I care very much about, and share it with the universe, and with that, would I get some kind of reaction? Because at that point, it was just literally a thought experiment. And, I wanted to see if perhaps if I did that, there would be some kind of reaction from the universe. I didn't know what it would be. And the first one was the in the book,
John, we're having we had a dropout.
Okay.
Let's see if it comes back.
Is it dropping from my end or your end? Willie?
I can't tell. It's probably in the internet backbone. This is every summer. It's like this is nothing new. For whatever reason, somewhere along the line, there's a server farm that's overheating. That's happening, and
Surprised by that, yeah. Wow.
yeah, there's nothing we can do about it.
I mean, if you would need to redo anything, that's fine.
Well, no, we don't need to redo it, but I just want you to go back and say what you were just saying a moment ago, because we couldn't hear it.
Okay, so the thought experiment was after I had my dinner with President Carter in Toledo, Spain, where we spoke of UFOs, I took that lovely experience, and then the idea of Close Encounters of the Third Kind, where music was used as a communication tool, I put those two ideas together. And I thought, well, if I were to get this music that I've loved my whole life, and I were to sit out on my deck, as I've done it for years, but not with this mind frame. And so if I do this and I send it deep into the universe as I'm playing, so they carry together into other realms. And I wondered if there would be any sort of reaction or from the universe. And it was immediate, and it was beautiful, and it was incredible. And it's been going on to this day. When I'm at the park, I'm busy filming, so I can't really play, but I play in my mind. Musicians have music in their minds all the time. So when I'm walking my dog just outside, music is continually playing through my mind, and that's being sent. And I also speak specifically to them. That's one thing I don't think people do as much as they should.
That's wait. Passive. You can't be passive and do this. You have to be proactive.
Every time I'm outside, I talk to our Star family. I thank them for being here and blessed. I'm trying different ideas lately. I bought a drone, so I took the test so that I could be legally able to take this. It's a little hand-sized drone, and I put it up about 300 feet up by a star. So a couple nights ago, it was, of course it didn't happen, but it was Vega a couple nights ago. And they will come between the rotors of this drone right behind it. And I've got videos of them too, coming right between the blades of this tiny drone at 300 feet in the air. And, so I think they must think it's quite fun. I'm trying something like that. But, they're very, interactive, and, they'll stage themselves. They put on these incredible demonstrations. There's many different kinds of craft that come from the really bright plasma type craft to there's a winged craft that comes that's really fast, hundreds and hundreds of miles an hour. He will come. The first time he came, in the video I sent to you, but I said, I'm just filming randomly, but it's never random as a different, and it popped right into the frame. Stopped, took a right, and did all of these incredible aerobatics. And it was just amazing. It's come back many times. They come in formations. There was a chevron of like 30 of them. What I do is I set up, at this point I had a Sony A7S III. I'll show you my equipment in a little bit. I've got it here, but I just put it on a tripod, and I just set it up, and I'll have a constellation of intention for the night, and it was Cassiopeia, and this incredible chevron of like 30 craft flew right through the constellation. Then they came back the next night. There was about 15 of them, and they came in, and then they made a human shape, really. Yeah, it's in the video I sent to you, and then it went back to the chevron, and it was gone. So, intelligent control, absolutely. And, interactions, you bet. And we all can do it. That's the main thrust of what I want to share with your viewers, is every one of us has this ability to go out and interact with something that is so positive and beautiful.
There's a man in San Antonio, Ryan Keaton, who has been on Greenland with his friend John Bro Wilkie. And Ryan goes out at night and does live UFO spotting on his Facebook page.
Very cool.
Yeah. And very few people show up. They don't seem to care. And this gets me to the situation, and I'm going to broaden this out dramatically now, because it's about time to do this. But before we do that, Free Dreamlanders, here's another break for you to enjoy.
Oh,
Dreamland. Be sure to tune in again next week. Dreamland is brought to you by UnknownCountry.com and its family of subscribers. Our theme music is The Ode of Pleasure by Ray Lynch. Unknown Country was founded by Ann Strever. Our news editor is Matthew Frizzell. Our coordinator is Amy Saffron Coco. Whitley Strever is your Dreamland host, and I'm your announcer, Ted Alexander.
hi, Omar. Hi, Omar. I'm tired, Omar. You're in the stream too late. Why? Omar.
Product received.
Why, Omar? Why, Omar?
Technology recharge.
Don't give me that, Omar. Don't give me that, Omar. Yeah, soon, Omar. Omar, did you ever get Red Dead Redemption for the Switch? You'll like it a lot. It's a better game than Red Dead 2, in my opinion. Ah! Oh! Oh! Oh, God! Oh. Oh, I have a new pet, Omar. Want to see? Hey, why is he all buggy and just fucking... Come on. Stupid animal. What the fuck? Omar, you're just parroting what a comment said, Omar. It's better than Tears of the Kingdom, and you gave that $70. It's a really good game, Omar. It's a really good fucking port. Don't parrot the comment sections. Especially if you never played the game. If you played it and beat it already, then I'd say, okay, fine, because you played it and beat it. But if you never played it, it's a fantastic port, and it's a lot more fun than Tears of the Kingdom. You're just parroting the comment section of a bunch of poor children that don't make any money on a comment section. Now, do I like Rockstar releasing things for that price? No, it should have been like $30. But, what are you gonna fucking do, Omar? The port is good, whatever. I wouldn't recommend it for PlayStation 4. But for Switch, to enjoy it on the handheld, it's not bad. Meanwhile, you'll pay $70 for Zelda, which fucking sucks right now. Right. All makes sense, doesn't it? It all makes sense, Omar.
Technology recharging.
This is dumb. See, you didn't even look into it, Omar. I shouldn't tell you anything. It runs fucking great. It's a very well done port. Locked at 30 frames, no bugs, no glitches. Everything is exactly like the old one, better resolution. And it's a better game because you could have showdowns with other cowboys. It just plays better. Red Dead 2 is not the better game. And being able to play it on a handheld is a pretty cool feature that you were never able to do with Red Dead back in the day. So, yeah, back in the day when people paid $60, $70 for it or whatever, yeah, I understand not wanting to do that if you beat the game already. But if you never beat the game and you want to play it in handheld on a great port, I would recommend you play it and not parrot one of the stupid comments from the comment section of a bunch of broke children. Like, what is it, 82% of people who watch YouTube don't even have jobs? Or some shit like that. It's like crazy, Omar. That most of the people that watch YouTube videos all day don't have jobs. Like a good 3 out of 4 don't. So of course they're going to be bitching about pricing because they don't fucking have jobs. End of story. That's number one. And number two...
Technology recharging.
Like I said, if you never played it before, but yet you'll buy Scarlet and Violet, which is a complete broken mess of a game, doesn't even run 1/10 as good as Red Dead. And I'm not telling you to buy fucking GTA, the trilogy there, whatever, because that was shit and they never fully updated that, so don't get that because that's a mess. But whoever did this port did a good job. They ported it very well. So, for me, you know, I paid. I was like, fuck it. Because I beat the game already. But I like Red Dead so much. And I've been waiting for a release. Well, it's nothing like GTA, so... If I would get it, I would get it on the Switch. Don't get it on anything else. It's a really good Switch port. You don't need to get it for the PlayStation. That's not worth it for the PlayStation. I agree. $50 for the PlayStation version, no. For the Switch, it's like one of the best Switch buys I've bought so far. So, and I'm not a fan of Rockstar, but this was made from Rockstar back in the day when Rockstar was really good. And it was ported by a different company, not even Rockstar. 2K, it was a 2K subsidiary company. I don't know what it was. Well, not 2K itself, but one of them. So Rockstar's really not even involved here. This is a legacy product from Rockstar. So the only thing that, you know, again, the price. But other than that, $50 for a fairly long game that has good voice acting, good story, locked 30 frames, doesn't have any... frame dropping, a lot of action, a lot of shooting, cowboys. You got the lasso. You could, you have all different horses. It's got shops just like Red Dead 2. In a lot of ways, it's better than Red Dead 2 because you have showdowns with people. Like, in Ghost of Tsushima, where you have like the standoffs. Well, in Red Dead, the original, you have gun showdowns Wait, they took that out of Red Dead 2 for some reason, which was so fucking dumb. Red Dead 1 is the better game. I always said that. I have said that for years. Red Dead 1, if you tap into a tree, you don't fly off the fucking horse. All that dumb shit. It's way better, man. There's Mexico in Red Dead 1. I feel like the map is, like, possibly more interesting. Actually, the map is a lot more interesting because you got Mexico. You got a whole... Oh, 1, man. John Marston was way better than fucking Arthur. Half of Red Dead 2 is Arthur choking to death from his tuberculosis. John Marston is fucking cool in Red Dead 1. And he doesn't have any sickness or anything. And it's a fucking cool game. And the story is... I would even say the story's about the same. Red Dead 2 has a longer, more dragged out story that takes forever. Whereas, like, Red Dead 1 has a better story, in my opinion. Like, it's a cooler story. I don't know, I really like it, dude. Omar, like, honestly... Like, if you like Red Dead 2 a lot and you pass up on Red Dead 1, like, I don't even want to talk to you no more. Because that's how good Red Dead 1 is. Like, you're not listening to me. Like, it's that good. And it's such a good port, like, you would... Yeah, because it was fucking getting in my mind, Omar. It was like OCD and shit. That's why that's one thing that pissed me off about Red Dead 2. I didn't like that he got the tuberculosis. I thought that was the worst thing to give him. Also, what I didn't like was, again, I didn't like that there wasn't any showdowns. Red Dead 2 just... I don't know, man. Like, Red Dead 2's good. It wasn't great. Red Dead 1, in my opinion, was a lot better in, like, every way. I don't care what any... Dude, Red Dead 1 has, like, better lighting, too. It's, like, hard to explain, but there's, like, better nighttime and daytimes in Red Dead 1. Red Dead 1 did a lot of things really good, man. I'm telling you, I would not pass up on Red Dead 1. Omar, if you pass up on Red Dead 1, man, just because of some stupid comments from some dumb kids that don't have any money, who don't even know what the fuck it's like. I can understand from maybe if somebody already had the game and beat it, and was like, alright, I'm not getting it for the PS4, fuck that shit. But having it on a handheld at a pretty good port, especially for someone who never played it before, is not a rob. I mean, could they have charged $30 for it? Yeah. But the point is that if that's the biggest deal that people have, it's like, yeah, I understand maybe if you beat the game. Like, I beat the game 2-3 times. If anybody should have a gripe, it's me. But when I looked up the reviews for the Switch gameplay, I saw how smooth it is and how good it runs on the Switch. And, like, people saying it's actually really good on the Switch. So I'm not going to be one of those stupid, broke, fucking living with their parents' little children that bitch about the price of something when they're putting $300 into fucking, shark cards, or $100 into Fortnite cosmetics or whatever. How much money did you spend into a fucking Spider-Man or some fucking skins on Fortnite, Omar? I'm sure you spent I'm sure you spent a bit of money on Fortnite skins, correct? Or I'm sure you spent money on something in Fortnite. Or what about Super Smash Brothers? Why is that game still like $60 or whatever the fuck it is? And that game's how old? Yeah, right. Nintendo gets away with it all the time and nobody says nothing, right? Because Nintendo always gets a fucking free pass. Oh, please. These fucking kids are stupid. Omar, whatever. You do what you want. I'm not going to tell you what to fucking do. You want to listen to these other dumbass kids? Go ahead. I'm telling you right now, it's the better game. I like it better than Tears of the... I uninstalled Tears of the Kingdom, actually, to put it on. I don't like Tears of the Kingdom. I'm just not a big fan of it. I'm not a big fan of it. I hate the fuse mechanic. I hate the weapon mechanic. Just don't like it. Until they do something with the Master Sword, I don't fucking care. Maybe add another... Omar, what? Omar... Why are you changing the subject? Did you hear what I said? I don't care about Pokemon X right now. And that's bullshit, too. You hear what I said, Omar? Yeah, right, okay. So if you're able to do that, then what's the difference? So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, everybody who complains about that, it's like, yeah, like I said, I understand if you beat the game already, but I mean, it's a good port. If it was a bad port, I'd tell you. I looked it up. I made sure I triple checked, and then I downloaded it. I bought it, and it's a good port. If it was a shitty port, I'd tell you. I'd be like, look, it's a shitty fucking port. But it's actually a really good port, and it's awesome to have on a Switch. So, whoever's fucking bitching about the price, they're just being assholes. Like, if you want to bitch about the price for PlayStation 4, fine. I agree with that. That should have had some sort of, a little bit better of a remaster on the PS4 or 5 or whatever. They could have increased the frame rate or something, right? But on the Switch, it plays great on the Switch. Even the resolution is higher and shit. Like, the textures look sharper. I mean, they did a lot of good stuff, so. I personally think it's good. If you don't have the Joy-Cons, forget it then. Get the Joy-Cons first. I wouldn't get it for PlayStation. I don't know. Wait till it goes on sale for PlayStation. Because, you know what? I mean, it's good enough to get. It's definitely good enough for PlayStation, but I personally, it's almost the same thing. They did comparison tests. There's almost no difference between the PlayStation and Switch version. So get it for the Switch if you're going to play handheld. I would get Joy-Cons first then. I don't know why you haven't gotten Joy-Cons in so long, Omar. Like, you can't ask anybody to help you with that? Like, your grandparents or some shit? And, like, maybe, like, not let your brother use them because he breaks shit. Honestly, if you're gonna play dock mode, what's the point? Then I would say get the PlayStation. But then it's like, whatever, Omar. It's good for handheld. That's all I'm saying. It's great for handheld. I wouldn't recommend it in dock mode. Then just get the PlayStation. But even if you then it's like, then just wait for the sale. Then I guess whatever. Get the Joy-Cons first. You should have them by now. I don't know why you never had Joy-Cons, Omar. That doesn't make sense to me. Oh my, I have all the portal glyphs now. So if you start a hardcore game, a permadeath game, I could join you. You heard, Omar? Omar, the new ones don't get drifts, Omar. You gotta buy, like, you gotta do what I did. You gotta buy colors. Omar, you gotta buy a color that is, maybe you don't like the color, and I don't fucking care if you don't like the color, but you gotta get a color that's new. The newer the color, the less of a drift problem. If you get the old gray ones, yeah, chances are you're gonna get an old model that probably could drift. So you just go for the new colors. And that usually has, like, I don't have drift problems no more. I only had drift problems with one set of Joy-Cons. Never had drift problems again. I had another problem with a set of Joy-Cons because I dropped the system so many times that the fucking prongs. Yeah. Make sure the color's new though, like it's fairly new. You know, like it's not the same. Make sure it's not the same age as the Switch. You know, like at least it's like 2020, 19 and up or something. You know. Don't get the blue and red, because those are. Don't get the blue and red ones. Don't get the gray ones. Green, I don't know. You gotta look up when they made the green. And there's probably different green ones, but whatever. Like, just don't get the blue. The biggest ones you don't get is the blue, red, the blue and red, or the grays. You get any other color than those, and you have a better shot. But I would go for a newer color. The newer colors are always more protected because they're newer models. Omar, Red Dead Redemption 1 is so good, Omar. It's like you're missing out if you don't play that game. It's like so much better than Red Dead 2. You're not like stuck in a stupid camp where you have to walk. You could just run all over the place. You could buy properties in Red Dead 1. Like, you can't even buy properties in Red Dead 2. Like, there's so much like crap in Red Dead 2 just sucked. Like, all over the place. I mean, like, it didn't suck. I liked the customization, and the online was pretty fun if they would have kept up to date with the online. But the single player wasn't all that good, man. I don't think it was all that great, the single player. Because I played Red Dead 1, and Red Dead 1 was the better game. I always will say that. And Arthur was a cool character, but John Marston in Red Dead 1 was better. Not John Marston in Red Dead 2, because he was kind of like, he was learning his way in Red Dead 2. Red Dead 1 takes place after Red Dead 2. It's really good, man. I enjoy it. Alright, Omar, I gotta go to sleep. I'm tired, man. Yeah, he's got a cool character, but I think John Marston's better, man. I've always liked John Marston better. I think you would like John Marston's character in Red Dead 1. Like I said, in Red Dead 2, they kind of like made him like a little bit like a pussy. But Red Dead 1, he's awesome. Alright, thank you, Omar.